So this is the raw reality of making $5,900 per day as a college sophomore. I'm currently in college, currently in my dorm room, as you can see. And I don't know, like I was kind of reflecting and I was like, wow, like yesterday we did 5,900, 18% above the previous day. And I was like, I kind of just want to make a video going through some of the learnings or I guess perspective changes that I believe helped me get to this point and may be helpful for other people who are in college or in high school or just like in the workforce who want to build a business, who want to be successful. So yeah, don't really have a direction in this video. We'll see where it goes. The first thing I want to touch on is something that many of you have probably heard before, which is learning how to say no and having your priorities set. Because like the reality is like I have to say no to 95% of things. Like I have to say no to quote unquote coffee dates of just like hanging out without a purpose. I have to say no to going out every weekend, going out twice a weekend, etc. Like you have to know what you're working towards and realize that like these small sacrifices now, like saying no to grabbing that lunch, saying no to going out and getting fucked up, are all pretty much compounding wins, which are going to lead to you having such a better life in the future. Because like in the moment, going out may not seem like you're setting yourself back too much. But if you look at what that actually leads to, like on a longer term, like if you got, let's say 2 nights per week, every single week, then you not just lose that night, but also the next day. So I've honestly like just had to say no to a lot, to going out, etc. And recently, I mean, I'm a bit further along with my journey, so I feel like I'm able to sort of have a little bit more leniency with myself, where I'm starting to kind of make an effort to go out like once a week, so I'm not just cooped up in my room like 24/7, but like I am starting to make a commitment to myself to do something once per week. But keyword like once per week. The rest of the week, like I kid you not, like I'm at this desk just doing work. And it's because I know that me temporarily sacrificing now, doing a little bit less, going out a little bit less will lead to me having such a fuller and just larger life in the future. Because like I know that this work that I'm doing now will lead to my success in the future. So I think that you need to reframe it as like not that, okay, if I do this, is it going to lead to success? But like that if I do this consistently, it will lead to success because it is inevitable. If you put in the hours, if you put in the work, it will lead to success. Like you're not gambling. Like as long as you're consistent, it will lead to something. Even if the first few businesses do not work out, like you still have so much knowledge that you gain, which will lead to so much more success in the future. Next, another thing is I feel that there's this notion online or like in the online entrepreneur space that like you need to drop out to be successful. Like I feel like I never see anyone who's in college and is successful. And I don't know, like it's a notion that I don't 100% agree with. Like I don't think you need to drop out. Like I think it's 100% helpful, and I think that I personally would be successful much quicker if I dropped out, as then I wouldn't be balancing all these different things and I'd be able to go full in on my business. However, I don't see it being a necessity. I think that it will help, but it's not something that's required of me to see success. Some people may then be like, okay, but like if you see that you'll get success quicker, why are you still in college? Like you're making $5,900 per day. Like why do you not just drop out? And honestly, a big reason is I know in the future, like again, back to having no doubt, I have no doubt that I will be successful. So like the money will come, the success will come. However, like when else am I going to be in college building my business around my friends and just other people? Like this is literally the only time during my entire lifetime that I'm going to be able to be in college while working on my business, etc. So it's just from the notion of experience, and I think that there's also a right way to use college. Like I'm able to leverage my professors and people who have experience within these industries to help me out on my business. However, like if you just go through college and you go out every weekend, if you do stuff not productive every day, then yeah, you shouldn't be in college. However, like if you use it properly, or not that you shouldn't be in college, but like you need to better prioritize your time. But if you use it properly, then I think it can benefit you. And also, something that I've kind of reframed my mind on recently is that, okay, temporarily, while I'm in college, I'm a sophomore, I have 2.5 years left. So while I'm in college, this will be much harder. Like, my business will be much harder because I have to be splitting the focus between school, between going out once a week, whatever it is. And that may lead to me seeing success a little slower, to the work being harder overall as I'm juggling things. However, like I'm thinking about it from when I leave school, how much easier work and everything will feel because I have such a significant burden. We're not I feel like burden's a bad way to phrase it, but I've just like such a significant like time commitment taken away. So I feel like I'm conditioning myself also to an extent where like once it's done, it's gonna be it's gonna feel so much easier because I'm gonna literally have all day to do my work. And another point I want to talk on is something that you can't really do when you're starting out. It's more for if you're a bit further along because you just won't have the capital to do so. However, it's hiring help. It's finding help. It depends, but like sooner rather than later. If you're bringing in money, look to lower wage countries such as the Philippines, India, Pakistan, South Africa, etc. Places where you could get high quality labor, however, for much more affordable. Like when you're scaling, you shouldn't be doing customer service. You shouldn't be editing your video ads. You shouldn't be writing your scripts. At the beginning, you need to do absolutely everything in your business, A through Z. You need to touch everything, you need to know everything, etc. However, as you start seeing success, you need to start buying back your time. Like I read this book that's literally called Buy Back Your Time. And like that's the reality of business. Like as you scale, your time is worth more. So you could use that money to buy back your time so you could then focus your time on higher leverage tasks, which will push the business forward. Because like if you're spending all your time on customer support, you're gonna have no time to progress the business. So something that's really allowed me to scale to this point was freeing myself from the little day-to-day tasks so I can focus on the higher level initiatives. Because if you look at the state of the business, like even 6 months ago, 8 months ago, what I was doing on a day-to-day, like I no longer do, like pretty much at all. What I was doing 6 months ago was pretty much everything on the ad side of thing because that's what I needed to do. And now that it's fully taken care of. Because at that point, me doing advertisements was the highest leverage thing that just needed to get done. However, since that point, the business has started doing much better. So I was able to bring on a team, build the systems behind that, and pretty much free myself from that. So as you scale up, you just need to see what you could start giving away, etc. And also, on the note of time, you have limited time. Like when you're working on things, you should identify and be smart about it. You should be like, okay, what should I work on now? What is going to have the highest impact on the business now? Or not even just now, because like I work on a lot of things. You need to work on things which won't have a high impact now, but will long term. You just need to look at your tasks from the standpoint of, okay, what is the biggest lever I can pull? What can I do now that will have like a massive impact within the business either now or later on? Because if something like is a nice thing to have but won't have like a massive impact, then don't worry about it. Like I've had like things that I put off for a while because I'm like, you know what, this would help like a tiny bit, but there's this other thing that like this one thing might like improve our conversion rate by like 0.1%, but this other thing may improve it by 0.5%. So why am I going to focus my time on something that has 1/50th of the effect when I could go to the other thing, get that done, and have such a larger impact?